So for like 5 years in a row, this style of floor plan I have called my personal nerd preferred half-ton towable couples camper out there. And based on your feedback, we think we might have made it even better. Welcome everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV, taking our first look at the new Go Explorer 225. This is a model very heavily influenced off of, I'll just say, my love of things like the Cougar 22 MLS, the Imagine 22 MLE, and all the other builders who make a floor plan like that. Let's get this right out of the way. It is not an original floor plan, but we did some original things to this based on user feedback and viewer feedback on this very channel. And we think, with your help, we might have just made this thing better here. So what this is, again, half-ton towable. We have a taller ceiling. We also have an Olympic queen bed, which is 66 by 80. What's nice is it's bigger than a standard queen, but you can still walk around it, and you can still get replacement mattresses and sheets for it on Amazon, so that's cool. We have things like an enclosed heated belly. We have azdel in the sidewalls, a basic battery tending solar package, XL bathroom vent fan, also factory standard, but one of the things I put my foot down, I said, if I have one way to influence this floor plan, it's that I want to bring the TV down from the ceiling position. Almost every builder who makes this layout, they mount the television across from the theater seat, but all the way up against the ceiling, and it's still a little bit of a neck crank unless you're fully reclined in those theater seats. I didn't want it to have to be that way. So basically, we stole a motorhome dinette with a power televator built in, and that opened up that campsite wall for bigger window coverage on a floor plan like this than, as far as I know, anyone has ever done before. Now, this is just littered with fun little features, like the entire front pass-through compartment. There's like 20 fun little things in just the front pass-through. We've even given you better sewer storage solutions on here, but like any RV, as excited as I am about this and as much as I love this thing, there's a few things about it that I think could still potentially be improved, or things you should at least consider before ponying up and handing over your paycheck, you know? And despite the fact that this is, you know, a Bish's RV exclusive series trailer, I still want to be fair. I want to point out the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, so you can decide if it's the right one for you or not. Because just because I like it doesn't mean everybody should like it. And if you appreciate that fair way of things, if you appreciate how we put your feedback into a product here, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and as we go, please leave us notes and let us know what you think. So keep in mind as we go today, this is an early look at a potential production model right here. There might be a little bit of fine tuning that happens before one of these hits our lots. There might be some mid-season evolution, but for the most part, this is pretty much what they're going to look like. And I want to just start diving right in. Actually, real quick, before I get too far along, let me give you just another kind of look at the general overall atmosphere of this thing. What is your first impression right here? You know, did we nail it? Did we fail it? We tried to, it's tough because, you know, there's definitely a lot of HOA approved browns, but we wanted to offer some color contrast and some lightness and brightness in there to kind of open things up. And speaking of that, this right here was one of the things I said, if we make this floor plan, I feel so strongly we want to do it differently from everyone else in this one specific regard. And that is basically the way the entire campsite wall and entertainment situation is handled. So I'm sitting over here at the theater seat, and most manufacturers who build this layout, because there's a lot of them, they mount the TV all the way up there against the ceiling, and they build some bulky, blocky cabinet around it, and it makes it kind of a pain sometimes to watch TV, and it limits your window coverage. So I wanted to do it differently. And I didn't think we needed to come up with a solution. I felt that people on this channel had voiced this so many times. We already knew a potential route to go. We basically integrated a power televator into the dinette, very similar to a motorhome application. And as a result, it brought the TV down to a much easier viewing angle. Or you can get rid of it. Now, our production partner noticed a potential problem with this. They said, yeah, but if the TV's up, there's a big giant hole in there where you could drop a bunch of stuff. So they built basically a little catch tray into the bottom of the televator. I'm not going to tell you it's impossible for anything to fall down in there, but they made it a lot harder. And I love that just kind of The whole point of this product is to consider the actual end user of the RV and how they might use it and how we could make that experience better. Like putting some power outlets over here where they would be handy, because you've got this nice, deep chunk of effectively counter space right there. You could use that like a handy little appliance or phone charging station. Now, I kind of lost the fight on this one. I am not personally a fan of the knee-knocking pedestal dinette leg posts. So I would ask you, are they okay? Or would you like to see potentially something different there? Now, the trick with this whole power televator system is that it prevents us from basically swapping out the dinette for like a freestanding table. There's essentially one of the things that helps control the cost on Wayfinder RVs is that basically we don't have options. They are essentially what you see is what you get. Now, you'll see as we go through this video, we have left a lot of room for interpretation. There's a lot of areas in the RV that you can still kind of personalize and customize it, but you can do so without modifying from factory spec and potentially ruining factory warranty. Now, originally this was a, what do I want to call it? A population control fixed hard armrest theater seat. And there are so many people who, I know that some people do prefer that, but there's so many people who want the cuddle compliance that we decided to opt for cuddle compliance. However, if I'm not mistaken, there might be an ability to put a hide-a-bed over here. I know I said no options. We've been teetering on that. I don't know which side of that equation we ended up going with. But once again, notice, absolutely maximized window coverage wherever we could put it. You will find that maximizing windows is a major focal point for us on this. Now, this small RV doesn't have 50 amp capacity. Some of the bigger models will. It will, though, have a 15,000 BTU Coleman Mach Air. And you might notice we've got the Tron Lightsaber light package going through this thing. Overall, I think it lightens and brightens up pretty big. Notice, though, this is one of those things we tried to be smart. We didn't just add stuff just to add stuff. Everything on this was done with intention and consideration. You see how the light beams don't go necessarily all the way to the sidewalls? It is shocking how much more those cost. And tell me, it isn't light and bright enough in here. So there were areas where we said, okay, if we can keep the cost in check but still provide a very nice feature, we want to do that. And one of the areas that I think we accomplished that very well, we basically had them build us our own bed solution. Again, there's some influence from some other manufacturers out there, but I've never seen anyone quite do it exactly like this. This is a 66 by 80 Olympic queen bed, but the storage below it is absolutely awesome. I cannot tell you how many meetings we had just about the bedroom. When I say that each area of this RV, we had months of discussion on this. And there's going to be somebody who's like, you had months to do this and you did it that way. I get it. It's not everything's for everybody, but we wanted it so we could maximize function through the entire RV. So most RVs, when you lift up the bed, there's just this box that you can put stuff in, and that's okay. But what if it could be more? And you've seen similar things like this out there, certainly. But like the double dresser drawers, they open outwards, so you don't have to always lift the bed to get to all the storage. But you notice these pads sitting, on top of the dresser stands. Well, take a look at the right side of the screen. We wanted those to be sittable, basically. So that like if you wanted to sit under here and like fold laundry or something like that, you'd have the opportunity. We had a little pocket of space, so we included some extra totes. You see the little cup holders, though. If you want to take those, like keep some outside stuff in there, you could take those outside. We've got the little netting in there also, so your stuff doesn't just slide around all over the place. But then just stuff like this, just smart solutions for daily functions and features. We integrated a laundry chute into this, and we actually have a laundry hamper, one of those collapsible laundry hampers in the front pass-through compartment on a sliding rail to catch your laundry and then pull it right out and get it out of the way. But while you have maximum cargo in the front pass-through, you can collapse it and get it out of the way. You're going to get to see that when we go outdoors. Then we got this guy right here. I just have it kind of propped up under the bed for quick display purposes. Once again, if you could draw your eyes over to the right side of the screen, we wanted to include in every Go Explore a picnic table, because some public picnic tables are gross because animals do their business on them, and sometimes people sling their sewer hoses on them after they've done their business with them, and that is awful. And that is not the experience that we want to have and not the experience we want you to have. But we didn't stop there. We said, how else can we improve this? Some people really want space to hang clothes. Some people don't. So again, we built that option in with adjustable and or removable shelving in both of your hanging wardrobe towers. All the cabinetry you're looking at, by the way, it's all hardwood cabinet doors, but the actual cabinet styles and rails, it's what's called lumber core. So it is a real wood that is pocket screwed together. It does have some MDF fascia and it is a sticker wrap. I'm not trying to oversell and underdeliver that this is the greatest material quality RV ever made. No, we wanted to be very intelligent about what we did here and make sure that all the juice was worth the squeeze. But we also didn't want you to have to like juggle cabinet doors open with your head. So just little detail solutions like that we took care of. Also, based again heavily on your feedback, we made sure to add a privacy curtain to this floor plan that originally didn't have one, so that if you do want to feel a little more enclosed and maybe that makes you feel safe, you have that ability at your discretion. A quick note, I'm going to try to be like the weather person giving you a forecast here. You see the location of these power outlets? I don't love their location. By the way, you see the white sticker that's telling you they're inverter prepped. This RV is wired for up to a 2,000 watt inverter to multiple outlets that'll be clearly marked like that. But the location of those outlets, if you have something plugged in, the cord's going to dangle down above your head. I don't love that. We are trying to get them moved maybe I'm doing it backwards, like over here by the side or maybe up here on that area right about there, something like that. So again, we are kind of dialing and fine-tuning that in. But again, your feedback, where would you prefer to have them? Now, when I stand back and look around like this, the RV looks nice and large because it is. It's bigger than industry standard. This is a 6'9" floor-to-ceiling clearance. It's a barrel exterior roof. It is a linear interior profile. That has helped fit and finish details to an extreme extent. You might notice we are carpetless, also ventless flooring. There's very few instances within the Go Explore family where you'll ever find floor vented heating, and it's basically only where we couldn't possibly avoid it. We also wanted to make sure you always had plenty of USB plugs, both Type-C and Type-A, for your phones and everything. Also, on a lot of the floor plans, we're going to have those little, things to like either grab your phone or whatever next to your sofa side stands. There's also going to be, you're going to find in a lot of our models, these handy little hooks because they're small, they're innocuous, they're out of the way, but giving you a place to hang like a dog leash latch or a jacket or a fly swatter or anything like that, those things can be so stinking handy. 10 cubic foot family, 12 volt compressor fridge. We're going to come back to the kitchen in far, far more detail. First of all, I just wanted to kind of swing over this way because there's some interesting things on the dinette that you haven't seen yet. Gosh, again, I really do love that big campsite picture window. You might notice all the windows open for airflow. Now, the dinette obviously folds down into a sleeper. In case you were curious, yes, it absolutely does that. But it has, our production partner said, hey, we have this thing that we do that makes it really easy to get to the storage below the benches. And we thought that's great. But what if somebody's sitting down? You don't want to have to flip the bench out. Well, one of the cool things here is we came up with a way around that. Now, it's not like we're the first ones to ever do this, but some people like doors under a dinette without a drawer because it allows for bigger, bulkier items to be in there to really maximize the storage space and capacity. Some people like drawers for the easy access. So by including 2 additional totes, these are in addition to the ones that we already saw under the bed. This RV has 4 of those tote organizers. You have drawers if you want them. You have doors for easy access. You can take the totes outside. They're washout proof. If the grandkids are over and you want to have a little water balloon fight or something like that, this design absolutely allows for all of those things. Now, there's a bunch of fun little details that we added here into this kitchen. Again, one of the goals and the efforts that we're trying to have here is to make every model as functional friendly as possible. And this is one of the things that we're going to put in some way, shape, or form in every Go Explore. A place to put your garbage. It is insane how many RVs are out there don't give you a place to put your garbage. Now, some floor plans might have a garbage drawer like we're looking at here. We had some extra space on this model, so we said, what if we gave you a place to like keep your garbage bags, you know, all wrapped up? Just little things like that. Trying to find every little nook and cranny and use it as creatively as we could without just blasting the price tag with custom solutions nonstop. We wanted to take something that already worked really well and just find a way if we could enhance it and make it a little bit better. You know, every single day when you go camping, you're going to need a place to put your garbage. So why don't more RVs have one? We wanted to have that solution for you. Look in the upper left corner of the screen right now, a place to put paper towels. We're going to have stuff like that on every model. Trying to focus on giving you the easiest reach outlets possible whenever possible is another thing that we're doing here. In case you're curious, these are thermal foil countertops, but what people don't realize is that not all thermal foil is created equally. This is a sealed thermal foil, and the way you can tell is if you just get down, and I don't mean, you know, like disco dancing, brother. I just mean you notice how what you're not seeing under that countertop is exposed like particle board compressed wood. That's because the core of this countertop is fully sealed to keep it better protected from things like humidity, condensation, water spillage, and anything like that. Normally, under the sink, I would say, boy, I wish they would get rid of that shelf so they could give us a spot for a wastebasket. We don't have that problem in this RV because we already have a wastebasket solution done, son. What do we got? 5 good kitchen drawers plus the bonus drawer in the garbage area, you know? And that's why I like how that garbage area in this floor plan is totally separate from everything else, you know? Remember that little phone holder shelf beside the sofa? We added another one of those in the kitchen so that if you wanted a place to be able to put some utensils or spoons or something like that, you could. Now, this floor plan, we debated heavily on how we should orientate the stove and those drawers, because if you put the stove on the right, it means that there's, you know, not a lot of elbow room over here. If you put the stove on the left, then you break up your countertop space. And if you put the stove in the middle, then you get tiny, crappy drawers. So, I don't know. Let us know how we did. One thing we wanted to do, though, is manufacturers continue to tell us it's difficult to find a way to do a stovetop side splash. So we wanted to come up with some kind of solution that they felt was production easy. And here's what we did. We basically made the sink covers pull double duty over here. Now, again, we're not necessarily the first ones to do this. I think Surveyor has a very similar system overall. But we also asked feedback. Do you like a one-piece sink cover or a split? And the split sink cover audience won. So we did a split sink cover at your request right there, because some people just feel it's a little bit more functional that way. Again, I'm not going to say that this is perfect and it's ideal for everybody, but it was based very heavily on your input, and we did the best we could. Now, we thought about going with a sliding pocket door right here, but this wall actually wasn't quite deep enough for that, so the swinging door is what ended up giving us the best access to the bathroom. It also allows for better privacy. A swinging door actually can have a locking door handle, so there were a couple reasons that we went with that. Walking around here over to the corner, the knee space around the toilet was really tight on this one. I don't know exactly why it ended up so tight on my left leg, but I mean, I could do what I have to do in there, but I don't know that it was necessarily the best, but I can deal with it. Now, again, in the bathroom, you're going to see where we've added a bunch more of the like hanging towel hooks and stuff like that all over the place. This was something our production partner came up with that I didn't predict, and I actually really, really liked. Did you notice how the pantry space didn't go all the way deep to the wall? It would have been too deep. Well, they created built-in towel storage in this bathroom above the sliding wastebasket tray, because the kitchen garbage can is literally behind this wall right here. I thought that was such a smart use of space. Now, the preview model that I'm in right now technically has a dollar store 4-inch fart fan up in the bathroom ceiling, but our actual production models will have the XL vent fans for maximum airflow. Now, what's interesting here is this ceiling has a skylight above the shower, but take a look at this. I don't know that it needs one. I'm a little bit over 6 foot wearing some thick soled shoes, and I'm able to stand in that cleanly. Now, you might also notice you're going to have a lot of elbow room in here. This is a fairly fluffy, friendly shower space. That is a large shower pan. I'm eyeballing it. I think that's one of those like 30 by 36 kind of shower pans. It provides some very solid space in there. So if you are a little bit of a larger person, you're going to be able to, take care of yourself the way that you need to. Now, in theory, this model usually provides excellent road mode access. I've not actually closed the slide in this camper before, and I'm really curious to see what we see. Oh, wow. That is a bigger slide than I expected. Most manufacturers who make this floor plan only give it like an 18 to 24 inch medium size slide. This is a full rack and pinion floor flush super slide, which also means it gets rid of the kitchen toe kick, but it also means that, especially because of the way these dinette cushions stick out, it is tight in here. However, because it's just cushions, you can kind of squish your way through them. And yeah, okay, it's just my calves rubbing against it. I can slide in here. Now, the one thing I can tell you is because we, sorry, I bumped the camera. I'm changing hands on the camera grip here. Because we have the swinging door, you do have to kind of shove yourself in the corner and work your way around. But the fact is, if you absolutely need to, you can get from back to front to back again in this RV. So we have bed available in transit. We have kitchen fully functional in transit. Bathroom and dinette available in transit. So you can nap, crap, snack, all snap, crackle, pop on your next traveling adventure here. This is, it's a little tight down here. I can make it work though. This rocks. It's something I was really happy about on these. The weights and measures on this floor plan, I think, are extremely reasonable, and they fit within a lot of the realm of like tow package, late model, half-ton towability. That's one of the things I love about this floor plan specifically, is that it is not going to require a grave digger, Bigfoot monster truck. And it's a little thing. This is actually something that the president of our company came up with. I don't know that I loved it initially, but it has kind of grown on me. A lot of RVs are just slathered with Nike Adidas swooshes. Now, a lot of more linear lines are kind of coming in, but it feels a lot of times like you're driving around a billboard for someone else. And absolutely, the name of this product is readily seen. But like on the nose, we wanted it to be a little more understated with that black on black under the logo here. So initially, the Go Play Stick and Tins had it had our Wayfinder logo on it. And a lot of people said it looked like a duck's foot pointing sideways on the RV. If you notice, that is the new Wayfinder G. Go Play, Go Explore, Go Light, Go Away. I don't know. Whatever the next one's going to be. I love that name. Actually, now that I spouted that out, I love the idea of an RV named Go Away. Maybe if you've got a 30-year-old son living in your basement, you need to give him a small camper so he can go away. Oh, sorry. Made myself laugh with that one. Anyway, again, you might notice all the windows, they are tinted. Now, I've got the lights on the inside, so the tint is less obvious, but they are all tinted. They all open for airflow. Our front pass-through is huge. Has magnet holdbacks and slam latches, both of which are nice. But again, we have this collapsible or removable little laundry basket solution right here. So, you've got the laundry chute from the bedside right above it. And by the way, we made sure that like it can't fall. You can't accidentally knock it into the RV. Like, we really tried to look at this and say, how would we use it? We actually just put our hands on it for a while and like tried to screw it up and like, how can we fix that? Something else you will find on both sides of this pass-through are those little pegboard organizers. And I believe we're even including a couple little packages of the hooks that you can put on there. Because again, the goal behind this is that as much as we reasonably could, we wanted to make it move in turnkey ready. We didn't want you to have to, like, so many people, and they buy their first RV, and people watching this, please leave a comment. Tell me if this applies to you. When people buy their first RV, they suddenly realize all the stuff they want and or need with it, and you end up with a mountain of Amazon boxes piled up on your front porch waiting for the porch pirates, right? What if we just had an RV that was already done with that. So that you just put in your clothes, your applesauce, and your mac and cheese, and you went camping. That was the goal here. Now, we also wanted something that was going to be a little smarter, a little more reliable. This has, Keystone calls it a Giggy Box. The Cruiser RV family calls it the Vault. And our production partner on this is Cruiser RV. But basically, that is a true hard battery disconnect where parasitic load, so like things like, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff in the RV that don't turn off. They go into standby. Well, this truly prevents them from eating the battery, but it still lets the 190 watt factory standard solar package on this do its magic. Now, it has a 30 amp controller. I believe it's just a PWM. I was really hoping for a little bit more in the way of standard solar hardware. I kind of lost that fight, but we at least have some standard solar. That's something you'll find on all the Wayfinder products, is some level of battery standard solar. Notice the motion lighting in here. Part of the reason that we put at least some basic solar, because don't get me wrong, 190 watts, 200 watts, whatever, not a lot. But it's enough to keep the battery topped off while the RV's in storage. Now, Bish's RV has its own remote, basically telehealth for campers kind of package. And one of the things that we found is like, when I say the majority, I mean the overwhelming vast majority of perceived electrical issues, like my jacks aren't working, literally just turned out to be low battery from the RV's battery dying in storage. And we wanted to do something about that. So we standardized solar to keep you out of the shop and off the phone. And this is an interesting, weird little thing we did right here. Basically, a little skirt side wet bay bucket. Now, if you want to, you could, you could throw some ice in here. You could use it essentially like an enclosed cooler, because you could always just close the baggage door right here and even lock it. So if you have good beer and you want to keep your cheap buddy who only brings Coors Banquet or something, actually, I'm a cheap beer drinker. I'd be the guy who brings Coors Banquet, but I would drink my own beer. You can pull that plug, let the ice drain out. If you go swimming, you have towels or you have wet shorts or something, you can slop them in there until you have a chance to do something about them. And if you're like, I don't want wet stuff in my pass-through, don't put wet stuff in there. You don't have to. Nothing says you have to do that. But you see the switch over there next to the solar controller. That's one of the other things I was really excited about. We wanted to make everyday function of this RV a little bit easier. So we started right here. Basically, that's a three-way switch for the awning. So you can open and close the awning inside or outside of the RV. You don't have to open the door. You don't have to let the bugs in. If the wind kicks up, you can just go straight over to your baggage door. You can close that up. You can avoid potential damage. Now, again, we're pet campers ourselves. We are very pet-friendly, focused kind of people. You might notice we have a couple drunken uncle leash latches on this thing for your four-legged furry friends. We've got one in the front, one in the back, and they're not just screwed into the skirting in case anyone is actually curious. Another thing we wanted to potentially do for our little pets is give them a way to have food and water available outside. So we came up with our own solution because we couldn't really find one that worked. Basically, we took an RV grill rail, mounted it against the A-frame tongue, and then found a little dog bowl kind of thing. Now, if you have a really small dog, they might have a little bit of trouble with this, but the good news is you could always take the bowls out. And if you have no dogs or anything like that, you can just take the thing off. You don't have to use it, but we wanted to make that solution available at least. You may have noticed we also really worked to kind of maximize the awning coverage on every model wherever we had the opportunity. Like on this one, we just threaded the needle between that window and that baggage door to make that happen. So it is not possible to put a bigger awning on this. We've looked, we tried. We also wanted the nicer door handles to come onto this thing right here. And again, simple solutions. We kind of talked about this before, but the little, integrated step clutter cutter shoe garage, you can take it off. If you don't like that thing, you can take it absolutely off. Or if it gets dirty and you don't want to flip the dirt into the RV, you can take it off and you can knock all the dust off of it and then either throw it in the pass-through, put it back on the steps, whatever you want to do. Again, it's not something you have to use. It's just something that's there. But this, I think, is actually really, really handy. You might be looking at this going, what the heck is this thing? It's a garbage bag holder, if you want it to be. It's also a Barley Poppinator 9000. You can you know, pop the top off that sucker right there. But what you do is you put a plastic garbage bag, wrap it around these little things. Like you put it like this, wrap the garbage bag around it, and then stretch it out so it stays nice and taut. And now you have an outdoor garbage bag area. But again, it's removable. You don't have to leave it there. If you notice, it actually just attaches with what's called a key block system, Keyblock, I think. You're going to find another one of those key block mounts on the back of the RV. We are sending these from the factories, basically, with the garbage bag Barley Poppinator 9000, and on the back, you're going to see like a bathing suit towel drying rack that you can slap on if you want. Now, the reason we want to do double key blocks on these is because there's a massive world of accessories that use that exact same mounting system right there. So if you drive through campgrounds, so many people, you see that entry door handle behind me, they'll take a Walmart garbage bag or Walmart bag and tie it to that and use it as a garbage bag. But not everybody just wants cheap plastic bags hanging all over their RV. We wanted you to have a better solution. But if you don't want your garbage on the campsite of your RV, if you're afraid that it sticks down and like you don't want your kids' cheeks getting caught by this thing, you don't have to put it there. You could put it on the back of the RV if you want. Some people on a previous video said, well, could we put the garbage on the back? You made this happen. So once again, thank you for the input. But there's a world of things. There's outside lights. There's Bluetooth speaker mounts. There's a ton of stuff that you can get for a key block system. So we don't want you to have to go to Amazon for everything. But if you do need to, you have solutions available. And there's the little, you know, bathing suit towel drying rack on the back here. Now, each of those little tines can kind of twist. What's nice is you can make sure they're not overlapping and they actually all get the airflow that they need. Now, you know, we didn't want it to be just a bunch of stuff that you could get off Amazon. You know, it's not just, oh, we went on Amazon and slapped a bunch of crap on a camper, you should buy it now. We wanted it to be functional. Having a place to store sewer hoses, that's a little shorter than I would have liked. I was sort of under the impression we were going to get a little bit of a longer one there, so that might be something that evolves over time. But giving you a place to keep your sewer stuff away, because, you know, some of the big bayonet fittings, they won't fit in those bumpers. Now, you might notice right above, well, this floor plan also has a single sewer outlet, which I love. But right above that, there's another little enclosed cavity. If you want to use that for your fittings or anything like that, or if you want to put your water hose or something in there, you could do whatever you want with it. We wanted to, again, provide you with as many solutions as possible. I was kind of gunning for having a ladder built on the back. I personally lost that war right there, and we ended up going ladder prepped. It is a fully walkable roof, thankfully. We are ladder prepped, TPMS prepped, and camera prepped on the back right here. What would be your preference? A ladder built on or prep for the telescopic ladder like you're looking at here? While you're leaving me that feedback, or not, I can't tell you what to do, quick rundown on the construction of this, because I want you to understand exactly what's going on. This is what you'd call like a stick-built roof. It is a wood-constructed roof with a, it does have a walk-on decking and roughly 16-inch on-center roof trusses, so you can get up, a guy like me, big guy like me can get up there and walk. Basically, as long as the RV ladder can hold you, you can get up there and you can do all your service-related things. Your sidewalls are aluminum framed and laminated. It is running azdel directly below the fiberglass layer, actually. And we did that so that not just it prevents so much potential delamination, not just from the result of maybe water penetration, but sun expansion, heat expansion, and contraction can cause fiberglass delamination, even if the RV's never had a leak. By having azdel directly below skin greatly reduces that because they expand and contract at very similar rates to the fiberglass. Now, your underbelly, it is enclosed. You do have a heating down there. We're not going to sit here and tell you, though, this is some magic Four Seasons camper. We are not the type of people that are just going to make something up because it sounds pretty. This is a very solid extended season package. Unless it gets below hard and stays below freezing, you're going to be okay in here. I don't have an actual number I can give you. What I can promise you is it's guaranteed not to freeze all the way down to 32 degrees. Science. Oh, the floor. The floor decking is actually a one-piece seamless floor deck, so you don't stand the chance of, like, as you walk around it as the RV ages, you don't have one piece of wood next to another squeaking and creaking as you walk around. Again, we wanted this thing to not just look great when you buy it. We wanted to build it for you to use it and enjoy long-term. Your second camper the first time. That's it, baby. So thanks again for tuning in. Remember, this is just one example of a Go Explore model. We have an entire lineup that is coming out. We have a few models, as you can see in the background, ready right now. Some are going to be bunks. Some are going to be non-bunks. Some are going to have an open bedroom like this. Some are going to have a fully enclosed bedroom. We are going to have a wide variety of things. And I don't know, if there's a specific floor plan you would like to see us target, let us know. And if enough people share the same sentiment and feedback, well, then we just might take a look at it. Because again, in the same way that you have driven this channel for so long with your feedback, you are going to drive the Wayfinder RV brand that we are bringing for you here at Bish's RV. Now, naturally, the big question, what's one of these things going to set me back? As I always do, I will leave you links in the video description where you can check out pricing, availability, all sorts of things. Now, that is kind of the thing. To keep our pricing in check, we do have to end up having a little bit of a limited availability at some times. So there may be some times that we are sold out of these. So if you see one and you like it, you better put a ring on it, because we may not have them just always sitting around the dealership. We will have them whenever we possibly can. We are working to always improve that flow of inventory and availability as well. So a lot of talking today. Obviously, I'm excited. Thank you so much for helping us make this a reality. I've been doing this 16 years now. Totally candid talk. This is one of the most exciting series of RVs I think I've ever had a chance to put my hands on. Again, I don't know that it's perfect. I don't know that every single inch of this thing is tuned the way that I would specifically want it. But overall, I would camp the crap out of that camper right behind us right there. I would be all over that sucker in a hot minute. I've talked a lot. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.